Does Maverick have a fucking case of Dasani above his dog?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Dasani, aka Coca-Cola product?
No, that's
Oh.
Aquafina, dummy.
Is that
Is that a
Aquafina or
Pepsi
is it
product?
Dasani?
Aquafina, baby.
Because it looks like Dasani from here. That's why I was
It does
asking.
look like a Dasani package. But...
Yeah, like I was like, wait, what's going on?
Speaking of Pepsi products,
Speaking of Pepsi,
boy, let me tell you about this movie.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
That's gonna
Product
be the
placement,
intro.
dude.
Hey, we're back. Graveyard Shift Movie Podcast.
wait, is this the real intro?
This is the intro. You got anything
Uh-huh.
else you want to talk about before we started?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask about like, I got these warts and they're in.
Uh-huh.
I had nothing.
Okay.
I was gonna ask Mav about his golf, like real life golf game, and when he's gonna start buying some clubs.
Oh,
No idea, dude. No idea.
soon.
I was like, y'all heard of Arnold Palmer? Well, now we got Armpit Palmer, and it was gonna be Mav like out there swinging. So, but yeah, that was it. That's all I
Anyway,
had.
all right. We're back. Graveyard Shift Movie Podcast. This week, it was Tyler's pick once again, and he picked 28 Days Later from 2002. Maverick, you want to start us off? What you got for a rating of this movie?
I got a 6.
For Maverick, that's a 10 because every other movie he's given a 5.
Yeah.
So,
Why does like you
Nah, I
start
gave
out
some
where it's like,
sevens.
I got a 6.
Solid.
like he couldn't
Yeah.
remember what came.
Yeah. Bags?
I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
5. I was also feeling a 5 on this one.
It is an 11 all day, every day.
Yeah.
One of the greatest films. Really put Danny Boyle on the map. It's amazing.
All right. Well, spoiler warning. Go watch the movie. Come back. You know, same old jargon, I always say. Is that a word? Right? That's a word. Jargon?
That sounds right.
Thanks, Maverick.
Yeah,
Thanks for
it's
backing
like-
me up.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, before you start.
okay.
Well, I mean, we've already started.
Yeah.
After the spoiler warning. You gotta remember this movie came out in 2002, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So up to this point, like right now, like today, we are super oversaturated with zombies, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but if you go back to when this movie came out, like zombies weren't. I mean, I guess you have Night of the Living Dead, right? But like, what other zombie movies were there?
Dawn of the Dead.
Well, that's all the same shit, though, right? Like, that's all that same, like.
Return of the Living Dead 1 through 4.
There were a million zombie movies before.
Yeah,
this
but none
one.
of those came out in theaters. None of those are high budget productions, right?
Was this the first Fox Searchlight movie?
I think
I remember
so.
seeing Searchlight and being like back in the day and being like, oh, what is this? Like,
Yeah, that
Fox.
was weird, right? Like, it was like a testing phase
Yeah.
or something.
yeah, like this is where their obscure movies go.
But anyways, like I think there's a lot of shows and stuff that rip from this movie or this story or whatever because it was a book also. But
Well,
Like,
the one thing I got is, so when did the Walking Dead comics start coming out?
2004.
2004. All right. Well, the way that Cillian Murphy's character starts out is the exact same way that Rick starts out, right? Except they
Well, yeah.
he wakes up in
Yeah.
the hospital and everyone's gone and he's walking down the empty streets and so yeah, instantly I was like, oh shit, look at this. They just ripped off Cillian Murphy.
See, I'm a little torn because Return of the Living Dead, those zombies seem real quick and fast, right? And swarming.
Uh-huh.
But like, I would say these zombies are on a whole nother level. But then you look at World War Z, and those zombies are on a whole nother level. So like, I don't know. This movie.
I almost didn't feel like they were zombies. Like I get it's a zombie movie or whatever, but like they weren't eating anybody really. Like they would bite people, but that was just because they were so full of the rage. That's how they attacked. So it just in my notes even I never call them zombies. I just call them infected the whole time. because I didn't see him
Yeah.
as zombies.
Yo.
But
I just love like how they show you it start, like the infection, like how they have you have the good backstory. Most of these zombie things go, I don't know how it started. I
Yeah.
just know how it ended. You know, like,
yeah, yeah.
but it's just so
Did
good.
did any of them people ever come back? I thought like the one main dude who was in charge of the group that was what were they doing? They were just rescuing the monkeys. It seemed like
They
It
they
looked
were
like
like
it,
taking
yeah.
pictures of the lab animals, so they'd be like cruelty to animals,
Okay.
and they were like
Uh,
setting them free and stuff.
I
They
thought
never said any of that though. They were just
yeah,
like, yeah,
that's
let's
what I got
free
from it.
these.
They're called like what, environmentalist terrorists, enviro terrorists, or something like that.
but
There's a
it-
word for it.
but
Dirty idiots.
I thought that he was in the that he was hanging out with Selena in the beginning of this movie. But
Oh,
then
Mart.
what's up?
The guy's name's Mart.
Oh, the guy who was with her?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was the guy from the beginning. I was like, "Oh, look, this guy made it." And then like 10 minutes later, he was getting hacked up cuz he like got
Such a brutal scene. Like
his
oh,
arm gets cut off and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Jesus."
She goes in on him, dude.
this movie really does like it kills your like humanity and then brings it back and then kills it again and like it,
Yeah.
every time you start feeling something will happen to where you're just like, well, fuck me.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I know.
I was
Great movie.
the way I segued into this movie was talking about the Pepsi or whatever. Boy, were they just upfront about that product placement?
My first note is coma for 28 days. Better get me a Pepsi.
Yeah,
Guzzle,
right.
guzzle,
Yeah.
guzzle.
Like, made
Yeah.
sure he had it logo out. Like,
I don't think the logo is out.
I think
You
so.
see some of it, yeah.
Yeah, you see some of it, but his hands like
Look,
covering it.
And then later, Selena's like, "I got Pepsi or Mountain Dew." It's like, oh no.
I think those were like you. The Pepsi was true. She's like, I got Pepsi or Tilt.
Oh,
And he was
Yeah,
like, do you
something
have
like
any
that.
Tango? And she's like, I do
Yeah.
have a can of Tango. And then
yeah.
zombies. started running at
Zombies.
it. 2 parts of this movie scared the fuck out of me.
Dude,
Okay.
yeah, I got.
2 parts of this got me. I wrote, okay, my part thing says, got me good, but it's spelled G-U-D. So you
Uh-huh.
know it got me.
That's
Uh,
good.
I was wearing headphones. I always do when I watch movies. And I
Uh-huh.
have the volume up a little loud because, like, the volume plays such an important part in this movie. Like, the sounds. And that car alarm going off in the beginning made me jump.
Now.
yeah,
I
it
was
got me.
like, oh, shit.
Dude, I jumped like a bitch.
And then when he's at his house and he's, like, thinking about his dead parents or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then those 2 dudes just come smashing
That was
through
crazy.
the window.
Yeah, that was probably the closest I got to like
I was eating a chicken thigh. I almost dropped it.
yeah,
Like, it was horrible.
like they were running.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
like
one came
full
through the
speed.
fucking ceiling.
Ceiling,
I don't know if the fucking skylight. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was
That didn't
cool.
make any sense.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 parts that got me. And then I had another
The-
part that I wrote a note on. 2
Okay.
parts, but I'll wait. I'll let other people go.
The so I wrote down like because the way you led into this movie or when you picked it, you were like because it had something to do with like today's world or something like that. Anyway, but the only thing I got from it that I thought you could have been talking about was the beginning. It shows all the riots and everything going on, and they got the monkey like tied down watching it. And I was like, "Ooh, this is nowadays you turn on the news and all you see is riots and shit like that." I was like, "Oh no, somewhere,
No, that's not what I was.
somewhere a
no,
monkey's
no.
tied down."
That was nothing to do with what I.
No?
The reason I picked this movie is because Michael Myers does that one arm drop thing randomly in H2O,
Uh huh.
and then
Mhm.
in the very end of this movie, Cillian Murphy does the same thing to the guy at the end, where
Yeah.
he like lowers himself down, all super silent, quietly.
Yeah.
That was the
What
only
are you
reason.
talking about?
The only
I
reason
don't
I picked
remember
this
this
movie.
scene.
When the guy is like about to rape Selena, and he
You
like
talking about,
he's
yeah,
knocks
like
down.
the last 10 minutes of
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah. And he like slowly lowers himself down, super quiet, and then like hits the ground and turns into a puddle.
Mm-hmm.
Not really, but like it's so good, and the music's just blaring,
Yeah.
and it has
Mhm.
like the zombie there chained up, like loose and he's hauling ass through the building.
Yeah.
So good.
And then like, so what?
You can go ahead.
I would say like the music's kicking, and then like Killian gets all close to that bitch, like he's gonna fuck her up too, and then it like cuts.
Yeah, she like stops like with the machete.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool.
And he's like, that was a little longer than a heartbeat.
Right?
Yeah, that was cool. I wrote down in my
Cillian Murphy's
notes.
so good.
Yeah,
He's
he's
probably
good.
the best actor of our time, right? Like,
I don't know if I go that far.
He's good.
I would.
Like,
Yeah, he is so
I-
so fucking. What's the other scary movie with him in it?
I don't know if it's scary, but
He's
there's
like
a
a
movie called
stalker or
Red
something?
Eye.
Yeah, Red Eye's one too. Yeah,
Hmm.
he's
There's
so good.
another one though where he's a stalker.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and he's like a crazy stalker guy. I'm gonna look it up. You can keep talking, Tom.
I wrote down in my notes that I wrote down, yo, MK versus DC Universe, lol, infected with the rage. That's all I thought about when that guy said that they were infected with rage. I also wrote down, damn, got some dick just hanging. Ooh, but it's sick dick. Gross.
What the fuck? Wait, what is wrong with you?
What was that about though? Are you talking about that like they had that sick zombie chained up?
No, I was
at
talking
the
about
military
when
base?
The very
Killian is
beginning.
laying there all naked on the bed in the hospital.
And it showed his penis in the very beginning. That's
Yeah.
what he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that Killian made them. That was a closed set. They just put a camera above, so he could be there nude. He didn't want anyone in the room
Loser.
with him. So shout out to him. Yeah,
Right?
Ray should have just started
He's like
flashing everybody.
millions. He's like millions can see this in theaters, but 8 people can't film this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The music in this movie is really good. I always knew I'm sure it has a name, but the song they play when he's walking through the street or whatever. I always knew that song. Was just the guitar or whatever. And then they're like starts speeding up into like a thrash metal song as he's like looking at the board with all the like missing people and shit on it. And it was crazy.
It zooms in on like some random kid.
It does. I think that was just to be like, oh look, a kid's gone or something.
What about the note his parents left for him? Jesus.
That
So
note
good.
was yeah. What it was
So good.
it was we left you asleep and now we're sleeping with you. Don't wake up.
Don't wake
Yeah.
up.
I was like, ooh.
You were right, Bags. I
Yeah.
think it is that Red Eye is the one movie.
Yeah,
But he's
that
like
was
a he plays like a crazy, not crazy person, but like an assassin or something.
Oh, is this
Yeah,
this is the plane
exactly.
movie you guys talk
Yeah.
about? Okay.
All of his
It,
stuff is good though. Like if you watch Peaky Blinders, he fucking slays in it.
Oh yeah,
It
that is him from Peaky Blinders.
It is.
huh?
He is.
He gained a little
amazing.
weight.
He did. He's very skinny in this movie, which I think has to do
Yeah.
with him being in a coma for however long, but
I mean, he had that half shaved head haircut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for like half the movie.
did
Jesus.
I miss what happened to him or did they just not say
He was a bike delivery messenger, and someone ran a light and hit him,
How
and
do
then he
you know
woke up in the
this?
hospital. He tells them when they're in that gas station with Mark and
Oh.
Selena.
Does he? How'd I miss that, dude? What the fuck?
I've seen this movie like 300 times, man. Like I didn't need to watch it again, but like
Yeah.
I felt like I had to, needed to.
One major complaint I had about this movie, which part of me feels like it was intentional, was that every time like zombies were around or they were running on, it was so fucking dark in this movie. Like that, I was like sitting there like I could see what was happening, but I was like I can't really see what's going on, and like part of me thinks that they did that like to sort of put in the sense of like you don't know where everything is or whatever. But yeah, I was like, man, they need to turn up the brightness on this shit.
I think it's intentional, right? Like
I think
they
it's
want
intentional.
you to feel the fear, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's this movie also had like an $8 million budget, which seems like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure, like, to empty those like inner freeways or whatever to London and shit, I'm sure that cost them so much money.
Yeah.
Like,
All
and
those
all those
shots of like the
Yeah.
empty streets and shit were so good.
Like I'm sure like most of their budget was spent on like making zombies and getting these crazy open street
Uh-huh.
fucking buildings on fire, crazy shots.
$8 million budget, made $82 million.
Good for them, man. Deserved.
Shout
I
out.
mean maybe we'll watch the sequel as an overtime. I don't know.
28 weeks.
I remember not being a fan of it, but
Does it follow the
that's
same
all it-
dude?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
Oh fuck. They couldn't
Yeah.
get him again, bro.
No, at that point he was already a star now. Batman Begins had just come out, like
They it's the same time, but like a different group of people completely.
Okay.
I hate.
Well,
shit
then
like that, man.
let me ask you this,
It's
because
really good, Math.
I thought one of my favorite things in the movie was when he's tied up in like the boiler room or whatever it was, and the guy starts talking about how we're quarantined. It's just this one island. How would this spread to everyone else? Think about it. It's everyone's just got us, walled off or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, planes are still flying, people are still playing video games, and then later, after Killian like escapes from being killed by them people, and he looks up and like the planes flying through the sky, and I was like, oh shit.
Was he right, dude?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the
It's
thing.
just that one.
Is I read the directors originally had planned to or the director and the guy who wrote it, which I can't remember his name, but
I can't remember either.
but they had planned on showing like how it was in other parts of the world, and then as they were doing that, they were like, you know what, let's just leave it how it could just be this place or whatever. So anyway, all I was gonna ask you is the next movie still in the same island, or is it now in a different part of the world?
I mean, the island is a continent. It's
Well,
not just
yeah.
an island. But so like this takes place in like London, right?
Something,
And
yeah.
the other thing is like in Scotland or something.
Uh,
So it's the same. It'd be like if there were zombies in Florida and then there being zombies in Seattle.
Okay.
Sleepless in Seattle. What a great title for a zombie flick.
Hey, by the way, I'll throw this out there because I saw it when we were watching. Selena also went on to be Calypso in Pirates of the Caribbean. There you go.
Nice. Yeah.
She's a pretty good actress. Like
Yeah, she's decent.
I thought everyone in this movie was good except for the little girl,
The daughter.
Anna.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought she was pretty good.
No. When she gave her those pills and she was like,
She's like,
oh,
I,
Yeah,
like, get out.
I feel kind of good.
That was kind of funny. I thought that was kind of hilarious.
Yeah. Part of me, like, because the girl was like, are you trying to kill me? And she's like, no, I'm just trying to make you, not care or whatever. Part of me thought that she was really trying to kill her. She just didn't want her to, worry that
Yeah, to realize.
But then she didn't have time to finish the job, so then what she said ended up being what happened, where she just didn't care anymore.
So you two, it's your first time seeing this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he wakes up at like the campsite and he's all alone,
Yeah.
and everyone's gone, and he's flipping the fuck out, screaming.
Yeah.
Did you actually think they left him?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Which I didn't know why they would leave him, but I was like, sure, they left him.
I knew
hate
they
when-
hadn't left him.
Well,
I
you
hate
had seen
when
this
movies
movie
do shit
before.
Like, now you can make the argument where I feel like I sound like Tyler. You can make the argument that he's like, he never actually woke up. Like, he's still dreaming. This whole thing's
Yeah.
a dream. Yeah.
That's
That'd
what
be
they.
cool.
That's what they say about Rick all these years. It's just a dream. Yeah, you could, but apparently 9/11 had a lot to do with this movie, where
Jet fuel, steel beams.
no, where not funny enough, but ironically enough, the scene where Cillian Murphy and Selena get to the apartment with the dad and the daughter, and they're like celebrating in their drink or whatever, was filmed on September 11th, 2001. And Cillian Murphy was like, it was really weird filming like a celebratory scene, when everything was happening. And then like when the movie came out, that bulletin board with all the missing people, a lot of people were
Yeah.
upset about it. Said it was real insensitive because obviously, a bunch of people went missing, and but yeah,
Well,
it was
$83 million disagrees with all those people.
just, yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's people out there who just get, like, I once knew this lady who every time she heard an Aerosmith song, she started crying, and I'm like, you can't take into account everyone's like little fucking hangups and shit, right? You gotta just make the best movie you can, regardless of what happens. Mav's looking at you hard. Tom, I don't know why.
Yeah, I wonder why.
But I mean, it's like, I don't know. I think watching the movie today, with the environment being like a COVID and everything, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, and they talk about how this thing started in a lab somewhere by, whatever. I'm not going to get into it because I think YouTube like takes shit down with COVID stuff in it. But I mean, you saw how easy that happened. So how, I don't know.
Anyway, moving
Like
on.
the scenario.
But how did the monkeys have the virus?
They gave it to them just so they could find a cure for it. So they gave it to them to see what it changed in their bodies, so then they could make like something that would make the antibodies for that.
How did they infect? It looked like all they did to infect them was just make them watch a bunch of riot videos.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I was saying.
They injected them with it. Because rage is like a thing.
Yeah.
So they inject them with it, make them angry, and then they go like crazy angry, and then they sample the blood to solve the problem. So
yeah, what was up with the one tied to the chair though? With the TVs.
That was a crazy scene, and he's like, ooh, ooh, as he like laying there and stuff.
I think that's probably one of the ones that they're trying out, the antivirus or whatever. Because if you think about the other ones in the lab, they're just like going berserk, right? Like the one is just slamming against the glass constantly.
Yeah, and that one was just like chilling out, like, what's up? Yeah.
And then his buddy's next to him with this just body removed, right? Like, So I was like, ooh, no.
When they get to the apartment building and they start walking up the stairs, there's a part where like the infected, you can hear him coming or whatever. And like Selena's like tells dude to be quiet so the infected don't. But she's like, quiet,
loud, yeah,
like so loud.
The volume goes up to like 20. And she's like, quiet, and then she looks over, and you're like, what? Why is this bitch yelling?
I was like, you are not quiet at all, Selena. What are you?
That's
doing?
one of my least favorite parts after that, because she's running, and the whole time Cillian Murphy's like, don't
leave me.
Selena, don't leave me, Selena. Oh, Jesus, shut up, dude.
Yeah,
my tango.
Yeah,
but
I like.
Okay, I'm going to point out the one mistake I saw in this movie,
all
and
right.
I'm sure there's pros out there that have seen more. I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but on the roof they have all the buckets to catch the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at this again,
they have a laundry basket.
Yeah, they have laundry baskets out there with holes in the side. I'm like, these fuckers trying to catch water or dirty socks. I was like, what is going on? And I was like, they just needed them for the effect, right? To show like, hey, we're gonna cover everything. So.
That shit was so funny. I looked at it, I was like, wait, is that a fucking laundry basket?
Yeah, I was like, that one has holes. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So.
I liked when they get it, when it's like the party's winding down and people ready to go to sleep, and the dad is like going up to Cillian Murphy, and he's like, "Hey, you and Selena, you want the spare room?" Cillian Murphy was like, "We're not really together," and he's like, "Ah, okay," and like walks away. Yeah, he was trying to set.
That's another thing that bugged me. He was like, "Hey, sorry, there's no water. Can't shave with any water. We're all out of water." Very next scene. Fish tank taking up half the screen, and you're just watching these fish float around, and I'm like, those fish have plenty of water.
I wrote down
spare a cup to shave.
I wrote down, man, this old dude telling jokes, being all nice and shit, gonna suck when he gets killed. And he had probably he pulled a mist on us. Well, spoiler for them, but you know where he's like, we gotta get to the army outpost, whatever, and then they get there and like. No one's there or whatever, so he's like, you know, we're all fucked or whatever. And he sits down, there's like the shot of like the Raven like laughing at him or whatever. And he's like, shut up, and goes over and kicks the pole, and like the blood from the body drips into his eye. And I was like, oh no. And then the army just shoots
Yeah.
him, and the army was like coming or there, already. And I was like, if you had just waited 10 seconds, you would have been all right. Even
Well,
though he
they're
probably
not the
wouldn't have
real
been all
army,
right.
but yeah,
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
because
this movie, dude, it's all surviving zombies, and then they finally get to the army camp, and then it's, oh yeah, we're pieces of shit too.
yeah,
Like, so it's been 20 days since the world ended, and you're like, oh yeah, let's fuck everything. Like,
20. Yeah, but like I understand their mindset to where they're like, we have to like repopulate Earth or whatever. So they're trying to snatch women up or whatever. But
Were they
Which-
gonna
like
eat
that's
those
not how
people
humans.
too?
Yeah,
oh, eat.
no,
no,
Yeah.
they were gonna bang them silly and make more babies.
They weren't gonna eat them.
No,
No.
Okay.
Which, funny enough,
Well,
doesn't
that
Selena say that at some point when her and Killian Murphy are walking? She's like, "What? You want to go start fucking repopulating the Earth or whatever?" Then it comes full circle.
She was like, plans are stupid. She's like, what do you plan on fucking? And we could just start all over.
Yeah,
And she goes on this rant.
yeah.
So it's such a good movie. Like
I don't. I'm not really.
some of the shots were a little grainy. Some of the shots were a little whatever. But
Well, this was also
18 years ago. So
yeah. Me and Bags talked about it a little yesterday, and I think I read it might have been like the first movie or one of the first movies to shoot entirely on digital. So I don't know if that has anything to do with how it's aged or how it looks or anything, but
it totally does.
yeah.
Like all those fast shots,
Uh-huh.
like it's just a very early 2000 style.
Yeah.
but I mean, he's kind of made that into his thing though, right? Like Danny Boyle's like train spotting and all that. That's like he has a very weird way of shooting stuff. And then you look at his recent movie, Yesterday, and you're like,
It's
wait,
very
there's
different.
nothing to do with nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure how I felt about the last 15 minutes or so of this movie, where it's sort of like zombies or infected still take a part in it, but it sort of turns into like a revenge, like
Yeah,
action
I don't-
movie story.
I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Weird turn, but yeah.
I mean,
Which always it ends up being like humans are more dangerous than the zombies or
Yeah.
whatever. Which I think
Look at
that
what-
happens so often now in movies. Which going back, this is from '02, so it probably wasn't as But yeah, now every time I watch it, I'm sort of like, I wish it was just zombies kind of, and there wasn't like people weren't dicks or whatever.
I feel like The Walking Dead just ripped off this movie and threw in a bunch of soap opera shit
Yeah.
because it's the same thing. Like zombies have never been a problem in The Walking Dead, like ever.
Like maybe the first 2 seasons or something, but yeah, after
and
that.
then it's like, oh, this guy's mean.
Yeah, this guy's got
Yeah.
his dead daughters tied up
Yeah.
in the basement. Like, yeah.
Which is a bad thing, but Homegirl had her peoples walking around with it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's not talk about that.
We don't talk about that one. You like the
Shit,
dad's he's like driving like over he went like what am I trying to say?
I don't
Off
know
road.
what it was.
Off road, that's what I'm trying to
That's
say,
what
guys.
I have that in my notes.
He
I
goes
was-
off
yeah.
road and then he blows the tire and I wrote down he lets out a meaty fuck. Like, he's
But
very
it's so much
upset.
more than off road. He's like, hey,
He,
all these
like, goes
cars are
over
piled.
Cars, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Why
he was
did-
like, better go over them. I was like, this would
Yeah.
never
What the
happen, guys.
Fuck.
Yeah, like it's not possible, right?
Yeah, right? It did lead into
Yeah, I
that
don't-
cool shot of all the rats running out of the tunnel away from the infected or whatever. And they were like, we gotta get out of here.
Again, I hate that Hannah girl. She's sitting there changing the tire, and they're like lifting the car so she can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's putting the bolts back, and she's like, 1, 2, 3, we're good. And I
Yeah.
was like, bitch, if you don't get in this fucking car, it's
How many bolts do you think you got to put in a tire for it to be good? Good
3.
enough to go.
3
I was gonna
tops.
say 2, dude. I was gonna say 2.
One on either side. And like,
Yeah,
just be
just
like,
to
all right,
keep
we're
it.
gonna...
I mean,
All right,
all you gotta
Just
do
to
is
get away, so-
outrun
yeah.
the zombies. Yeah.
can we talk about the greatest scene in this movie?
Okay.
When Killian or Cillian, however you say
Yeah.
it, goes into that fucking
This
restaurant,
this is the best scene of the movie.
and the fucking little kid zombie comes running up
Silently,
and, like, yeah,
like drops
well, right
down,
before,
runs
yeah,
up.
and then like he turns in time to catch him, so he doesn't get infected or whatever, and he sees as a kid, and you're expecting him just to be like, "Oh, what can I do?"
Yeah.
But no, he just hauls off on this little fuck
Hell yeah.
9 times with no remorse, and I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
finally a real person in a movie.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that was a good scene, man.
It was wild, like, because he went from like hello, and then you just see him drop down, but like it doesn't make a sound. He just runs up.
Yeah, he's fucking silent.
like right before he gets to him, he goes, eh, and then he turns and
When's this dude gonna learn to stop yelling out when he goes into like he goes into church? He's like hello, and like the zombies like perk up.
I love
That
that
scene was crazy.
so good. He's like, Father,
Yeah.
are you okay, Father? And then he hits him.
Yeah.
Bah! And he's like,
I shouldn't have done that.
I was like, this is some Mav shit right here. I was like, I'm watching Mav in the zombie
Yeah.
apocalypse.
Nah, I would have hit that. I would have ran from that man as soon as I saw him twitching. He was like, I would have been out.
He was just on the
You ain't gonna
yak.
catch me. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guy
But,
walks with a limp and you running from him, but
That fucking scene where he's at the top and then he's like hello and you see the zombies just like stare at him up. And I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, get out of there, run.
They
I think they could have cut the grocery store out. And this movie would be perfect.
I was gonna talk about that. They just have a random little shopping spree in the middle of this.
Yeah.
And
Well, I guess they had to show. If they didn't show them getting food somehow, you would have been like, these motherfuckers went 10 days without eating. Like, they had to show them getting food somehow.
Well, in the back of the taxi, there's candy bars all over.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
there's
they have
candy
plenty
bars
of
and
food.
chips and shit.
It just doesn't make sense.
And that
to me.
chick has a line where she's like, "If I never see another candy bar, it'll be too soon." But she's in the candy bar section,
and she's filling up her bag,
Yeah.
like just loading up. So,
That's
and
how-
I don't know if being a chemist makes you a pharmacist, you know,
Yeah,
or is being a chemist, is that what people in the UK call a pharmacist?
probably.
Because she was like, "It's okay, I'm a chemist." And I was like, "Bitch, this ain't no Bunsen
Yeah.
burners. Like, what
Yeah.
you giving out drugs?"
Fucking you remember when it's going back to that bad dream we were talking about? Because then the dude like wakes him up, and he's like, "You're having a bad dream." And Killian's like, "Thanks, Dad." Like goes to sleep, and I was like, "Ooh."
And then the guy, I think his name's Frank. He has
Think
like this
so.
little grin. He's like,
Yeah.
So
It's like, too bad you're gonna die in the next scene, Frank.
well, I mean, I like to introduce when they introduce Frank, and he's just wearing all the SWAT gear at the top of the
That
stairs.
was crazy when they just run
Yeah.
up and he's standing
And she
there.
just screams.
Yeah,
It's like you're running from zombies. Who the fuck is it?
yeah.
Mav's got some guy in his camera. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a little Cam.
The fuck? Why does he have Tommy hair?
Listen, that's the new style, man. Look at this shit. I was gonna talk about the when he's showing the infected dude like chained up outside or whatever, and he just vomits the grossest like blood fucking vomit I've ever seen. I was like, ugh.
It was pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't know. This movie just strikes a chord with me. I think it's the best zombie movie ever made. Just that's
It's
my opinion.
alright.
better than Warm Bodies.
I do like Warm Bodies.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie. I bring it up a lot.
That movie
but
sucks.
That kid's really
It was
good.
all right, dude.
He's a great
It was
actor.
all right.
Like him and Mad Max. Oof. I live, I die, I live again.
Yeah.
So
They
Mad
made
Max quote.
my dude toss out his omelet that he made. Like
Yeah, it
he
was
brings in the
trash.
omelet and he's like, "Did you tell that these eggs were off when you were making it? Take it away." The one guy's like, "Oh man."
He said he thought the salt would cover up the
Yeah.
taste. I was like, I've never eaten a rotten egg, but I mean, it can't be good even with salt.
Yeah.
dude.
That's why I thought they were gonna eat them.
Because they were running out of
They were-
food.
They were down to just eggs, and they were out of eggs.
Yeah. So now all they have is
I
human
mean, maybe.
flesh.
You know,
But
I mean,
it was. Who knows?
they wanted the
Right?
women, but what's stopping them from eating dude? You know,
Yeah. Wait,
He-
what? So they
No,
take
eating
him
all
out.
of them. Oh yeah,
They
except
take him
maybe
out
the
to that
woman.
field. They take him out to that field to kill him,
Uh
right?
huh.
Was that zombie bodies or was that?
That
You
was
think that was
other people that
from?
come with them, I think.
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking. But then you would think there'd be other women too that came with them. But there was no fucking women.
Maybe just none of the groups have women.
well, let's. I mean, I don't want to sound like the sexist guy here, but I'm gonna.
Too late.
Yeah, like zombie apocalypse. Who do you expect to survive most?
Damn, you're going that route.
I'm just saying, right? Because like it's a zombie apocalypse, and you got to make it. Let's say 200 miles. I don't know how far they went. They had to get gas twice.
It was like 27 miles, I think.
So like you got to make it that far, and you've seen the roads. So like to make it on foot that far, you imagine these guys are like all former military or something. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think any of us would make it.
But
Not
So-
with those zombies, probably not. No.
Yeah.
yeah, running zombies are a whole different breed.
Yeah. If it was like Walking Dead zombies, I feel like I'd do all right.
A little brisk, John.
I think Tom
Yeah,
is
right.
right though that we were fucking up by calling them zombies
Yeah.
because they
like-
killed the dad just by shooting him. Like it wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah.
It wasn't. You got to hit him in the head. Sure as hell wasn't Return of the Living Dead. You know.
No, you gotta burn the whole body.
Like,
Yeah.
so like, I think I don't know. What are those zombies from The Last of Us? Those fungus dudes. or whatever?
Clickers?
Yeah, maybe it's closer to that. I don't know, but
Or is clickers just a type of the zombies in that game? I don't know. There's a whole bunch of zombies in that game.
Bags is our resident Last of Us.
Do they have like just a name for the zombies in that game instead of clickers bags?
No, I think that's just what they call them,
Hmm.
or like
'Cause they
the
click, don't they?
infected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but like,
Yeah,
this whole movie is so good.
Yeah. I really like the shot of all the infected running up to the like mansion at night, and all the lights are on them, and they're like
Yeah.
mowing them down. That was a cool shot.
There was a lot of. They must have had a lot of ammo stocked up.
Yeah.
It's only been 20 days since the world ended, but I mean they're busting shots off left and right. I feel like you'd want to conserve ammo in that.
Well, they are in an army base, right? That's
Yeah.
bunker.
Who knows
whatever.
how much
Hmm.
ammo they had?
I mean, they had full auto machine guns and shit too.
There was one weird line in this where it was after Cillian Murphy comes back and he frees the infected dude that they had chained up in the backyard. Where then it's the two guys like chilling on the couch, and the guy's like, "What is that?" And the guy's like, "I don't know." And it happens again. And he's like, "It sounds like a claymore." I was like, "What?" Sounds like someone's putting down a claymore, sure. But then it leads into that wild shot of like the lightning flashes and the infected dude's like in the window and
Yeah.
like busts through. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty tight.
So,
He had a
but-
grudge on them. Was it not to skip over all that, but when they finally make it out and they're in that house in the hills, right?
uh-huh.
They show those two zombies on the road, like by that little wall.
Yeah.
Is that the zombies starving to death because they're just chilling, like they're on the ground?
It looked like it, right? Because that was the whole point of having that one guy, is to see how long it takes them to starve to death.
Yeah,
So, it looked like they were very malnourished or something. Like they couldn't move.
yeah, they
hardly.
were real skinny. Yeah,
Yeah. So it might have been.
I don't know.
I had to turn on subtitles when the plane went over because the pilot says something, and I was like, and then the
Yeah,
girl's like, "Do you think
over
he
the
saw
radio.
us?" And I was like, "I don't know what he said." And so he said, like, "Can we get a helicopter in here, lads?" That's what he says over
Oh,
the
that's
radio.
what he said.
So it would seem as though he did see him.
They got saved.
Yeah.
It
There's a weird part in the beginning of the movie. where
So
the
that
scientist
army
says-
is bad too.
Where
Yeah.
the scientist says blood or spit, right?
Uh huh.
In the very beginning, he's like, saliva or blood, don't get it on you. And
Hey.
then somehow later in the movie, it just changes just the blood. Because if it was spit, Killian would have done.
Yeah.
in the very first time
Hey.
he got attacked.
An uncalled for thing is about to happen. I'm gonna take the first ever bathroom break that's ever happened in the middle of one of these podcasts.
What?
my God.
All right, so
Let's
wait,
see
do we
this
still
dude.
talk about stuff, or do we change subjects?
You
while
can.
going?
You can talk about whatever. Though.
How do you hear us without the headphones? Look at this guy.
This fucking guy. Bah.
He took like medicine. I don't know what kind. So
Yeah.
the old poop factory must have kicked in.
What I miss when you guys talk about?
We were talking about Mav was picking his next movie.
Oh, while I was gone.
Well, we were just talking about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he knew
Oh,
like it was his pick.
did he say he knew? You have a pick?
Oh, he nailed it. He was ready.
Okay, well, I'll wait
So.
to be surprised at the end for.
Yeah.
I
mean, me and Bags both complained about his pick for 20 minutes.
Yeah, you'll be surprised.
Okay,
You'll be
I'm
surprised,
looking
alright.
forward to it now.
Don't.
Don't.
Oh yeah.
Um.
It's more disappointing than your foot.
Oh man.
So
How do you feel about where going back to when Maverick was asking about the pile of bodies when they went to
dude
go
didn't wash his hands.
kill the dudes? What?
Oh, end of
But-
intermission.
In the where he goes to kill him and then the one guy's like puts on the bayonet and the guy's like, "You gonna let him stick me?" Like, and then he shoots him so he doesn't have to get stabbed or whatever. Then later on, Cillian Murphy stabs the guy who like stopped the other dude from getting stabbed, and I was like, "Oh man." So he should just let him stab him. I was like, "Man, this dude was all right. He wasn't that. He was still killing people, but still."
Like, this is a zombie horror movie, but I think the whole thing's about morality, right? It's all about
Yeah,
like
for sure.
going back to these primal instincts to where like right and wrong doesn't matter. You're like, everything
Uh-huh.
changes. Scenario like will warrant
Yeah.
different reactions and stuff. Like I said, I don't know. I get really deep into this movie.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing where he was picking up money off the steps. There's no reason to have that in the
Yeah.
movie. But
Yeah.
it was just to
Well, he
show
didn't know
like
that.
the fall
Yeah.
of mankind, right? Like
Uh-huh.
the streets are littered with money because money is fucking pointless. And then like it goes into this whole thing about power versus wealth. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that guy was like, everyone brought tons of cash, but nothing happened. No one would take
Yeah.
it. So
We haven't talked about Killian fucking digging his thumbs into that dude's eyes. Like, I was like, oh my god.
Went hard, man.
Yeah, it was gnarly. Which, how did he end up killing him? Was that how he just killed? He just went into like his
I guess, yeah.
brain? Yeah, I didn't see him do anything else.
It's because like remember when they first got to the apartment with Frank or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and Killian's like, if they get sick or whatever, you're just gonna leave them.
Yeah.
And she was like, in a heartbeat, and he was like, I wouldn't, and stuff like that. So it's like
Yeah.
it's showing him devolve
Yeah.
into a monster, but yet still be a good guy.
Yeah.
Good shit, real good stuff. It's like Mav. He's
Hey.
a monster, but he's our monster.
I liked the main bad guy. I liked his death. Where after he gets done shooting Cillian Murphy, where the girl like backs him up so that infected zombie can like pull him, bust through the back of the car and pull him out, kill him. I thought that was good.
He shot him, right? When he
Yeah, he shot him.
shot him in the stomach. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind
I
of
thought
wish they
maybe
would have killed him. Like, kind of wish he would have died.
Jesus, huh?
This
You know,
movie
it
went with
confused
like
me.
no happy endings, so the fact that he lived, I was like, oh, okay.
I wish they would have not had that plane at the very end.
Yeah, to show
Because
like
not
them-
knowing is, like, because
Yeah.
in your mind you're like, happy ending.
Yeah, it was totally like sort of a happy ending.
But I wish they would have just left it up, for whatever,
Yeah.
Who knows? It's kind of like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction,
So,
yeah.
Briefcase.
Briefcase. Good reference, Maverick.
Yeah, thank you, man.
No one else will get that.
I didn't get it, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the second zombie movie in a row where they have a freeze frame where she busts through the gate and they're like, ugh! Like they just, her and Selena and Cillian Murphy just freeze up as they get lunged forward. But it's a theme now. All zombie movies must have a freeze frame.
Freeze frame.
Freeze frame.
So.
Um,
Anyway. Freeze frame. Freeze frame.
you did a Thomas. Said anyways, but then you kept on going.
Because I was hoping someone else would jump in, but no one did.
All I remember of that song is Freeze frame. Freeze frame.
Freeze frame.
Yeah.
Freeze frame.
Did you hear that song at work, Bonnie?
No, I don't know where I heard it.
I remember
did.
hearing it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's. Maybe
It's one of those 30 songs. The same 30.
Yeah. Hey, it's almost Christmas time. So Christmas music.
Anyone wants to make any declarations about Jingle Bells again,
Mm.
and then not live up to them?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, that shot of Hannah, like holding her. At first, I thought she was just hiding behind the mirror, but then she was like holding herself up behind the mirror, so her feet weren't showing.
Yeah, so
I was
you
like,
wouldn't
oh
see
man,
her.
that was cool.
Fucking next level, right?
Yeah.
There's another weird part where Hannah's driving the car, and he was like, "Brake, brake," and you think she's just gonna fly into the tanker, and you're like, "Here's
Yeah,
the
I was
bad
like, she's
part."
about to kill them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she like deja vu, and she like drifts into the thing, and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
And she has this
It was
little
good.
grin, and her dad's like, "Get out." But
Yes, she's a G, man.
they did nothing to build up that lady. Like, she was
Hannah?
the worst person. Yeah. Remember when they're trying to get in the apartment, and the dad's literally like,
Where's
"Go to
Dad?
my house."
Where's Dad?
157, yeah. And she was like, "I ain't opening."
Yeah.
And then it's all happy go lucky after that. So
Happy go lucky.
I got that hat being worked on as we speak.
We got the Happy Go Fucky shirt. We got the greenhouse shirt. We got the this motherfucker flying shirt.
Yeah, that's gonna be on the jetpack though.
Oh, good.
This motherfucker flying.
Uh,
Anyways,
Anyways.
but was there a greenhouse in it? I don't know if there was. I thought there was at the castle.
I
or the
think so.
bunker.
Yeah.
I think that because I don't think they say, "Hey, this is a greenhouse," but
But I'm pretty sure
it
it was
looked like one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was inferred. It was a greenhouse.
So philosophically, there was a greenhouse, but metaphysically,
Yeah,
we're not sure if it was actually a greenhouse. So,
that's how it went. Oh, all
oh
right.
yeah, I think we went over this whole movie scene by scene now.
Yeah,
Unless there's anything I'm forgetting.
I don't think so.
Like I said, it's such a good movie. I mean, it deserves a watch.
Like, I'm looking. I think we've gone through about everything.
Ooh, and Tom froze.
What?
Your internet's jacked up again.
Oh no.
Like you're.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
You're just
you're good.
your picture was like
Oh, you scared me.
freezing.
All right. Well, it was good on my end. So, sorry. Anyway, let's wrap this up before my internet shits and we get fucking, shit on.
This movie surprisingly scary, but well, parts are surprisingly scary, but
We'll have to check out.
maybe not a horror film.
No. Yeah. Right. Like, I think you and
There's jump
Bags
scares.
You and Bags have seen it. I haven't really watched it. I know of it. You guys think that Nightcrawler with what's his face is a horror movie?
I haven't seen it. I just know.
Oh, you
Bags talking
haven't?
about it all the time. That's the one where the
No.
guy chases the ambulance and then he starts hitting people, so
Mm.
the ambulance will come or something. I haven't seen it. I'm guessing.
Yeah, he starts doing shady shit to get like good news stories, but
Yeah.
no, it's not as scary.
I saw it was listed as a thriller, and I saw it on like a list of like horror
Yeah.
movies that are really good that no one watched, and I was like, "Is this a horror movie?" So anyway, I just thought I'd ask.
It's a thriller, just but not horror.
Oh, okay.
I was doing the dance. Y'all couldn't see it.
Well, anyway, all right. We'll have to check out the sequel at some point. I think it's about a wrap on this movie. About time to head that
Hold
clock
on.
out. Yeah.
Well, you can keep going, but
Okay.
I want you to have 3 guesses to pick what Mav's movie is. So, but go
Well-
ahead and do your outro.
Okay. Well,
So-
all right. Well, the outro is basically done. All right, three
Oh.
three
3
guesses.
guesses. People at
So
home already
y'all-
know.
Yeah.
Either one or doesn't.
So y'all were shitting on it. It's something
Well, I mean-
that I'll be surprised about.
Yeah, well, I mean, we always shit on Mav's ideas, even if they're good.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
just what we do.
and it's something Chinese.
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 Oh.
I don't think.
Well, it's not Chinese at all.
It's probably that.
Yeah.
It's probably that Peninsula movie.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking
Bags made it way too easy
Yeah.
for Chinese.
Well, in my mind, I figured that's what he was gonna pick anyway. Because
By
it
the
was
way,
out.
It's
But
Korean, like 100%
Yeah.
Korean.
Not Chinese.
You know, it's-
What? It still got him though.
yeah, South
He
Korea.
still knew exactly
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
I mean, the directions don't have to be perfect as long as
Yeah.
they get there, right?
Yeah. So
But yeah, he wants
Peninsula.
us to watch Peninsula. I don't even know if we can watch it. I don't know if it's out anywhere streaming.
I don't know.
I think it's $20 to rent it on Amazon.
God damn.
So I don't think.
Listen.
we can
All
do
right,
it.
so we
Yeah,
can't
like I
watch
don't.
it.
Yeah, I
The
don't think we
movie's
can
picked,
watch this.
Deal with it.
All right, so it's time to pick
It's
something
time
else.
to pick something
to
else,
bitch.
Maverick. We'll
I
come.
have nothing.
We'll
else.
come back to Peninsula when it's actually available in the U.S.
Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. We'll watch it.
You're gonna regret this.
What?
What? It's not my fault. It's out.
He left.
It's not out.
He's
He
gone.
said that and then left.
He's coming. Did you have a backup at all?
No, Peninsula was just like, oh yeah, that's the movie
Well-
I'm watching. You fuckers, fuck me hard.
Listen. All right. Well, hey.
Yeah, you gotta quit picking these obscure foreign flicks, man.
You should just pick 28 weeks. You just cover that.
Oh, we were planning on doing that for an overtime. That's why we were getting them shit. It's like we watched 28 days. We're gonna watch 28 weeks for an overtime, and then we gotta watch another fucking zombie movie on top of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, good lord. And that was our main critique.
Hmm.
But Matt was like, eat shit, we watching it, and then we did.
What did
gonna
Bags
be a
pick
good
the
one.
other day? When it was his pick? What was the... Oh, H2O.
H2O,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna pick The Hills Have Eyes, but
Yeah. Hey,
I
next
switched it up at last minute.
next time.
Yeah, I keep waiting to watch that film, and you just keep teasing.
Yeah, Mav, you could pick that one if you want.
I've never seen it. So
All right.
Matt's
Well,
gonna pick like the worst fucking thing.
he's gonna
Or
pick
out
something
of
bad
spite.
to harm us.
We'll get back to Mav.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mav, look around. You know, hit us up later. I'll put this in when I edit what you picked. And we'll watch that next week. So whatever it is, it'll play here. It's just played. Whatever you said. Good pick, Maverick.
We're gonna play it here. We're gonna leave all that shit in there. Like,
No.
oh.
I'm gonna have to cut a lot of that out. but
Hey Mav, I know a movie you could pick that's really bad, but I need an excuse to watch it.
Oh,
Called The Devil's Rejects.
I was gonna pick the Meg.
well, House of a Thousand
It's on
Corpses
HBO this month.
is the first one.
Okay, House of a Thousand Corpses. And Meg's not a horror movie though, is it?
Says you, pussy.
It's like one of them creature horror movies.
Isn't it like a Deep Blue Sea type movie?
Yeah, it's like Deep Blue Sea. It's not like a horror. It's like I guess Lake Placid's more of a horror movie,
Mm-hmm.
or Anaconda. It's more
Well,
like
none of
Anaconda.
that. Yeah, none of that stuff's really a horror movie. Like Godzilla and stuff, people consider that horror.
No one considers Godzilla. I mean, Jaws is shot like a horror film, right?
Yeah.
Sneaky. You only see the fucking shark for like a minute. Mav, you can pick Blair Witch.
I got my pick now.
What'd
Okay.
you pick? Oh
13
shit.
Ghosts.
13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Oh,
Apparently,
shit.
the
Have
Meg
you
is
seen
classed
it?
as a horror action. There you go.
I saw it I was like 10 years old.
There's the
Yeah,
guy from fucking Monk in it.
It's got fucking Matthew
Uh,
Lillard in it too.
yeah.
The guy
Mhm.
from
That's Shaggy,
Scream.
dude. That's Shaggy in it.
One of the ghosts I always used to think was played by Sting, the wrestler.
Oh, the wrestler, not the.
Yeah, just because he had a flat blonde top, but it was 2001, so he would have been in the Crow Sting form already. It was not.
I don't think anyone but me knows what you're talking about.
No, all the people know. Anyway,
This isn't going in.
It's going
we're
in.
done.
I haven't
You're
wrapped
"I'm
it
done."
up. We
Oh,
haven't done an outro. We haven't done nothing.
You already did.
No, I started to say it's about time to head out. Maverick, what's your movie? And then we went into how we can't pick his movie. So that's we don't have an outro.
So
Until
is the new
now.
one, is it 13 Ghosts?
Yeah. 13 Ghosts.
Word.
All right, next week, 13 Ghosts. Be there
Who's the female in that movie?
or be square.